one and all present here. I welcome you all for this webinar on the machine learning algorithms, the basic concepts and the some of the few techniques available in the machine learning area. Now it is the emerging field of information technology nowadays. Without this machine learning concepts, we cannot live in the world by all peoples of the entire globe. Whoever lived in the world, whether they are peoples, animals, or environments, and other controlled organizations, everything else, all these are all used the machine learning concepts. Why the animals are capturing the machine learning concepts? Using this machine learning concepts, we can find out by means of satellite images, by means of satellite information. We can use we can find out whether the animals are live, whether the crowd of the animals in a forest, everything is carried out. Okay, so machine learning methods, there are many kinds of informations available in machine learning. One is machine learning methods, that is machine learning algorithms. Machine learning applications, that is entirely different. What are the fields of applications which involve machine learning informations? Then the machine learning for smart home technology, machine learning for deep learning, machine learning for finance, machine learning for government sector, machine learning for scientific information, machine learning for marketing, machine learning for any kind of information management, the government sector, public sector, industries, all these areas the machine learning applies. So the concept of the machine learning is very, very important. Okay, now in this session we will discuss about only the basic concepts, basic algorithms, basic approaches used in machine learning. What are the basic approaches used in machine learning? Only we can discuss. Okay, now first we got to understand what is called as machine learning. It is the process of science, and it contains the science of teaching machines how to learn themselves, how to learn by themselves. The machine can learn something by themselves is called as machine learning. Simply if you want to say, the machine learning is a method of learning approach by means of its experience. The machine learning machine's experience, based its experience, the machine should learn something about the machine learning, something about the knowledge acquisition, knowledge gathering, knowledge, that is information gathering. Everything should be learned by a machine is called as machine learning. Okay, when a machine can learn something from its expert, who, where, how, and what is the method for methods are available in order to learn the machine learning algorithms. These things are discussed in this. Okay, now how the machine learning approach should be applied, where the machine learning learns something actually from the experts, software engineers, software analysts, system engineer, and other who are involved in order to make a machine. Hardware engineer, software analyst, software engineer, software architecture. From these people, a machine can learn something how to improve the knowledge themselves. So machines can do high frequency repetitive tasks with high accuracy without getting bored or tired. So how a machine can work without getting bored, without getting tired, without getting tired? How a machine can repetitively doing the task that we are assigned to a machine. This is another concept. Okay, now what is machine learning? It is the most popular technique of predicting the future trends, by means of nowadays the future trend information extraction is very popular. what is today available, what is previously available, what is today available, what is we can produce for future. These things are analyzed by means of this machine learning concepts. Also, there is a how the future trends are analyzed by classifying the information to help people in to make the necessary decisions. In order to making necessary decisions for the future trends, analyzing the information for the future purposes, this machine learning is the most of the popular technique which have some prediction oriented information extraction. Okay, then machine learning algorithms are trained over instances or examples through which they learn from past experiences and also analyze the historical data. The machine can learn something about the improvement of the machine's knowledge, the improvement of the capability of a machine from its past experience. Okay, from its past experience alone, a machine can learn something from its experts. This is the main concept of the machine learning. Okay, what is actually happened in a machine learning? How we can introduce our machine learning? So first, initially, an ordinary system is available. We can adapt some artificial intelligence oriented information extraction information in the ordinary system. Then the artificial intelligence oriented concepts are entered into the machine learning concepts, because AI is the highest field, large field. One of the subpart of AI is machine learning. So by adopting the techniques, representations, problems, and understand by and generated by the artificial intelligence oriented concept, a machine can learn something. What is the problem? What kind of problems are available? How we can able to solve? Whether it is possible to solve by ourselves or not. Ourselves means machine by self. A machine can solve all these types. What is the structure of the problem? How the informations are stored? What kind of informations are stored? How large the informations are available? Everything should learn by the machine by adopting the AI technique. After learn something about the defined problem, defined domain problem, after understanding the domain problem by means of a machine, then it should predict some information. It predicts some information. The prediction is based mostly on the domain based information. Whatever the information, whatever the problem identified by the machine are used for the prediction purposes. What is actually carried out in prediction by means of a machine learning? So the categorical values, categorical attributes are predicted. The categorical attributes are predicted. What kind of attributes are used for future purposes? What is the special how we can apply the information available in a particular attribute, categorical attribute? How we can perfectly utilize for the real world applications? This is the prediction done by the machine. Then after the prediction of the machine learning approach, the information domain, then a machine can understand, a machine can improve the result that is produced by means of this prediction method. So the result should be improved. Is it possible to improve the find out results by means of a machine learning approach? If it is possible, then a machine can improve the results. So outcomes are improved. The visualization techniques are exactly used for the machine learning purpose. Okay. Then what are the different applications with the machine learning available? We can develop intelligent systems. So one of the core topic for the machine learning is we can create the intelligent systems, because artificial intelligence is the creation of intelligent systems. Subpart of AI is machine learning. Therefore, we can develop intelligent systems that are capable of taking decisions in an autonomous basis by means of an autonomous machine, by means of a single machine, by means of a machine independently decide how to solve this problem, how to solve a particular problem, how to take decisions intelligently. If a machine can take intelligent decision, whether the intelligent decision should be explored to the real world and used for the humans, and which are whatever it is produced by a machine is used for the humans or not. These things are analyzed. This is one of the applications. So everything should be application area. There are many kind of application area are available in machine learning. Okay, these all, but for all for applications we require methods, the algorithms. These algorithms learn from the past instances of data. So past instances of data only the algorithms must learn something. So through the statistical analysis and pattern matching. Statistical analysis, you know very well, the basic methods of data analysis method is statistical analysis. Then why we require pattern matching here? The machine learning methods mostly adopt the pattern matching algorithms. There are many kind of pattern matching algorithms, patterns, methods, algorithms and methods are available. So using any one of the pattern matching method and the statistical analysis oriented informations are actually fixed into the algorithm, and then the algorithm is evaluated based on the possible particular domain. Okay, so what is artificial intelligence, machine learning and deep learning? Deep learning is a subset of machine learning. Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. So the broader sense is artificial intelligence, in which machine learning is one of the part, in which deep learning is one of the part. Okay, already we have enough discussion about the other artificial intelligence and other concepts. All deep learning algorithms are machine learning algorithms, but only few of the machine learning algorithms are deep learning algorithms. But all the machine learning algorithms are not a deep learning algorithm. Okay, this is the simple approach. This is simple method. All the machine learning and the deep learning algorithms are artificial intelligence oriented algorithms. Okay, this is the another concept. Okay, how does a machine learning work? How a machine learning concept will work? Input data. First, we have to enter the input data. Whether the data is entered into any form, the data is in the form of supervised method, unsupervised method, semi-supervised method, reinforcement method, any kind of data, any database repository, any kind of data, cloud data or actual data, real-time data, simulated data, anything is called as input data. Okay, the input data is entered into a machine. Then the inputted data are analyzed. The data are analyzed by means of the machine. What are the techniques? What is available? What are the descriptions available? What methods are actually used for storing the data? What we can predict by means of a machine? What a machine can predict something about the availability of the data. Then the machine should find patterns. The machine should find patterns. What are the different methods we can apply based on the analyzed data which are captured from the input data? Okay, we can find the methods, that is a machine can find the methods. Based on the methods, the patterns, a machine should predict some information, predicted variables, predicted informations, predicted variables, predicted attributes. For that prediction oriented information, there are many methods are available in the basic machine learning algorithms. So after the prediction, which visualize the information to the real world viewers, the real world viewers are given the feedback about the information actually invented by a machine learning algorithm, machine learning pattern, machine learning method. This is in this way only a machine learning algorithm will work. So insights of ML, machine learning. Okay, now artificial intelligence is the broad topic, in which machine learning is the subtopic, in which deep learning is the another subtopic. Okay. Now, what are the different kinds of machine learning available? Three major characters, but it is four major characters: supervised, unsupervised, semi-supervised, and reinforcement learning. Apart from these four methods, some other methods are also case-based learning, activity-based learning, and other kind of learning. Other methods are available. Application-oriented learning, specific information oriented learning. These are some other kinds of ML algorithms are available. What are the different kinds of machine learning types of machine learning? Supervised, unsupervised, semi-supervised, reinforcement learning. Everything you know very well. In supervised learning, there are two categories. One is continuous target variable, and another one is categorical target variable. In continuous target variable, the method used for the analysis of the data by means of machine learning method, machine learning algorithm is regression. So housing price prediction is carried out by means of the regression analysis. That is, this is under the category of continuous target variable. Then categorical target variable, which have classification and medical imaging, classifying the medical images based on its category. Some that is other kind of heart disease information or medical images are separated, and other kind of information, cancer images are separated, other kind of diseases. Each and every disease we can have many kind of medical images. The medical images are classified based on its category. Therefore, this method is, these two methods are called as supervised learning method. Then in unsupervised learning method, target variables not available. Here there is no target variables. The variables are not unstructured. There is no structures available in the storage of the variable. So clustering and associations are the very famous technique for the unsupervised learning. So what are the applications of clustering? Customer segmentation, who are buying a particular product from various areas, from various shops. These are under the topic of clustering. Then association, market basket analysis, which product is mostly purchased by many people, mostly purchased from different malls, different markets. This is market basket analysis, is association rule mining, association rule extraction. That is another point is semi-supervised learning. In this semi-supervised learning, there are some categorical variables are available. The categorical variables are having clustering and both the clustering and the classification approach. In the categorical variable approach, the semi-supervised approach, classification applies as a text classification. So based on the text, that is based on the sentiment analysis also, which involves sentiment classification, sentiment analysis also avails in the text classification. Then in the clustering, land finding on GPS data. Nowadays, your mobile phones are using GPS data. The GPS data are clustered by means of a area, a particular domain, particular geographical information oriented extraction. That is clustering a group, clustering a particular area. This is the semi-supervised learning. Then what is called as reinforcement learning? Here we have two types of variables, attributes. One is categorical and another one is there is no categorical values. Target variables are not available. There is no structure. So in the categorical variable, already we know that very well. Classification, optimized marketing are exactly carried out. But in the that is is not defined categorical values. Control, driverless cars are defined, used in this category. So there are four major concepts in the machine learning methods types. So types of machine learning, generally three. One is supervised, unsupervised, reinforcements. So supervised means machine learns from training data, from the testing data. Unsupervised means no training data is required, only testing data is enough. Then reinforcement learning means machine learns on its own by means of trial and error. This is the concept. Okay. What are the other types of machine learning? So supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement. In supervised, fraud detection, email spam detection, diagnostic information, image classification. Here these are all used. By using the regression analysis, risk assessment, score prediction, these are all available. Okay, then what is the unsupervised methods? Text mining, dimensionality reduction. Based on the dimensionality reduction only, that is feature selection methods are applied. Text mining, face recognition, big data visualization, image recognition, and another kind of approach is clustering, biological clustering, biological information clustering, city planning, targeted marketing environment. These are all available. Then in reinforcement, gaming, finance sector, manufacturing, inventory management, and robot navigation. These things are exactly carried out. Now we discuss about what? Supervised learning. The algorithm consists of a target or outcome variable or dependent variable. The outcome variable is called as dependent variable, which is to be predicted from a given set of predictors. The given set of predictors based on the independent variables, we can predict some dependent variable value. This is the method of based on the independent variables. We can predict the value of the dependent variable by means of this supervised learning algorithms. So using this set of variables, we generate a function that map inputs to decide outputs. A function should be generated in this method. Then function should create the output based on the input. The training process continues until the model achieves a desired level of accuracy on the training data. Based on the training data, when the accuracy will reach the up to the accuracy reaching a position, the training process will be continued. So examples of this supervised learning is regression, decision tree, random forest, KNN, logistic regression. Unsupervised, we do not know any target value or outcome variable to predict. Whatever available in the base information, the base information availability is extracted, that's all. So whether it is useful or unuseful, that is not a part. So useless or use of the information is not a method. So whatever the available information, the information available, we can produce some outputs, outcome. Whether the outcome is useful or not, it is not a problem. This is done by means of a supervised learning. So it is used for clustering population in different groups, widely used for segmenting customers in different groups for specific intervention. For a particular purpose oriented customers are grouped into some manner that is called as unsupervised learning. A priori algorithm, K-means and K-medians, fuzzy algorithms are unsupervised learning methods. Fuzzy algorithms sometimes supervised, sometimes unsupervised. A priori and K-means and K-medians, K-centroids algorithm are also the unsupervised learning method. Then what is called as semi-supervised learning? Combines both labeled and unlabeled examples. Combines both supervised and unsupervised is called as semi-supervised, which have an appropriate function or classifier. Okay, what is the example? Transductive support vector machines. Support vector machine is one of the #1 example for the semi-supervised method. Then what is reinforcement learning? So it is work on the basis of the trial and error method. First, the algorithm get an input, solve by using some method. If the method fails, then the method should be changed. If the data set fails, then the data should be changed. So based on the trial and error method. So using this algorithm, machine is trained to make specific decisions. In words like a machine is exposed to an environment where it trains itself continuously using trial and error method. Okay, whenever a result should come as an output, up to the result, the machine can process the information. That is the more than once. That is the main concept of reinforcement learning. The machine learns from its past experience and tries to capture the best possible knowledge to make accurate business decisions. Whenever a good result is obtained by means of a method, the method should execute repeatedly is the main concept of reinforcement learning. Markov decision process, Markov's chain is the example for the reinforcement learning. Okay. Now, what are the other methods are available? Instance-based or case-based learning methods, which represent knowledge in terms of specific cases or experiences. Specific experiences or specific cases are nowadays what? COVID-19 virus. This is a specific case-oriented learning information. Okay, how the recent information, how the specific informations are extracted, which relies on flexible matching methods to retrieve these cases and apply them to new situations based on the current environment, based on the new environment, based on the new situations. These informations are these methods, case-based learning, instance-based learning, are exactly carried out by means of a machine learning method. So one of example is k nearest neighbors. Whatever available nearby, that should be extracted. This is one method. Okay, what are the other different kinds of ML algorithms are available? Linear regression, logistic regression, decision tree, SVM, naive Bayes, KNN, K-means, random forest, dimensionality reduction, gradient boosting algorithms. There are many kind of boosting algorithms are available. Apart from this, some kind of other independent variable oriented algorithm, dependent variable oriented algorithms, some other algorithms are available. That also we will discuss in this method. Okay, first we discuss what is linear regression. Based on two set of variables, if we know that one set of variable value, then we can find out with the help of the first set, we can find out the second set value. Based on this, y equal to ax plus b. Here, if we know the value of x, we can find the value of y by means of the correlation and the regression analysis. Here a and b are constants. Here a and b are constants. Usually a is a slope and b is the intercept. So y is dependent variable, x is the independent variable. So this is a linear regression. So straight line equation, regression line, straight line equation is this one for two variables. Okay, like we can use multiple linear regression, three variable equation, that is studied under the topic of multivariate analysis. This is two-variate analysis. That is binary variables are used. Binary variables, two variables, random variables mostly utilizes two variables. Multivariate analysis, regression analysis is also, partial regression also available in this linear regression. Then what is logistic regression, which is actually the another name of the classification is called as logistic regression. Many of you are not known very well what is the another name of the classification. It is logistic regression. It is used to estimate discrete values, the binary values like 0 and 1, yes or no, true or false, based on given set of independent variables, based on the logic. Many of you are known very well the logic, mathematical logic, which is the foundation of the computer science. Mathematical logic, what is truth tables, what is by conjunction, what is disjunction, what is conditional statement, what is biconditional statement, how we can apply the implications and equivalences. These things are under the topic of logic regression. We must follow some logic in logic regression analysis oriented information extraction. So logic regression is also another name of the logic regression. So it have a data fitting function. That function is called as logistic function. There must be a function available in order to extract. The function is from A to B means it is a binary function. From A to BC means it is a ternary function, and go like that. So it predicts the probability, its output values, which lies between 0 and 1. Mostly the regression analysis, correlation coefficient, everything should, probability oriented informations are mostly between 0 and 1. But in the correlation coefficient lies between -1 and +1. So low correlation, negative correlation, and positive correlation are available. Here this logistic regression, only we can find out the positive information alone. The another one concept is decision tree. Many of you are known very well what is decision tree. It is one of the very famous and favorite algorithm, used it for frequently by many people. Decision tree algorithm. It is one of the supervised learning algorithm, which is mostly used for classification problems. It works for both categorical and continuous dependent variables. So the algorithm in which we can split the population into two or more homogeneous sets of data. So in this set of algorithm, so which is done based on most significant attributes, dependent variables, to make us distinct groups as possible. So based on the independent variables and based on the significant attributes, this decision tree algorithms are significant attributes means we can find a particular significant result oriented information by means of decision tree induction. This is the concept of the decision tree. So this is one of the example for a play tennis. Play tennis is the example. So what is the probability? Humidity and windy, true, above humidity is less than 70, above 70, true, false, windy or true, false. What is the probability? All these values must be between 0 and 1. 5/8, 3/4, 2/2, 3/3, all these are all between 0 and 1. Okay. The another one is support vector machines. What is support vector machine? So it is a statistical oriented approach. In this algorithm, support vector machine is one of the algorithm. We plot each data items as a point in n-dimensional space, where n is the number of features you have, whatever you have, with the value of each feature being the value of a particular coordinate. This is not easily understandable algorithm. I will explain by means of simple words. You must have a hypothesis testing in statistics. In the hypothesis, how we can fit hypothesis for carry out a test, either it is a Z test or T test or F test or chi-square test, any kind of test. You must fit a hypothesis. The hypothesis is to be tested based on a function that is defined by your method. The function is evaluated. That function is mapped into some category that is called as a support vector machine function. That is called a support vector machine function. So based on the function result, function outcome, the support vector, or how much support is actually carried out by means of the mapping functions, mapping coordinates. This is the main concept of the support vector machines. So mostly we use only 2 coordinates for this support vector machines. More than 2 coordinates are not feasible in order to use the SVM machines. Okay. So naive Bayes, another one is Bayes theorem concept based. This work under the conditional based probability approach. Naive Bayes classifier assumes that the presence of a particular feature in a class is unrelated to the presence of any other feature. So related informations are unrelated informations are extracted by means of related informations. This is the main concept of the Bayes theorem. Based on the conditional probability, based on one set of variable, we can find out the value of another set of variable. This is the main concept of the Bayes theorem. Now, based here, P of X is one variable. C, we can find the value of C, which depends on the value of X. So the probability of X depends on C with the multiplication of probability of the variable prior probability C, which is depends on the probability of the variable X. Here, this is called as posterior probability. This is called as predictor prior probability, and go like that. Here we can use n variables. In the place of a single variable, we can use n variables. This is the simple method of the Bayes theorem, naive Bayes theorem. Okay. The another method is K nearest neighbor algorithm. K nearest neighbor algorithm work under the part of classification algorithm, classification and regression problems. Here, it is more widely used in classification problems in the industry. Nowadays, classifying the industry-oriented information extraction, most of the classification algorithm are applied, in which KNN approach is very well exactly used. It is a simple algorithm that stores all the available cases and which classifies new cases by means of a majority vote of its K neighbors. So market-based analysis are mostly carried out by this KNN algorithm for running the smooth business in a company. So this case being assigned to the class in most common against its K nearest neighbors, measured by a distance functions. So suppose if we want to purchase a particular item, we go to search in many malls which are nearby, available in a particular area. This approach is actually carried out by K nearest neighbor algorithm. In this, the distance functions are mostly utilized. There are many kind of distance. One form distance, that is UNORM distance, Manhattan distance, Euclidean distance, Minkowski distance, Hamming distance, many one norm distance, UNORM distance, many kind of binorm distance. Binorm distance is actually called as Euclidean distance. So these things are available. Then another one method is K-means algorithm. You know very well, one of the very famous unsupervised learning clustering method is K-means algorithm, in which a particular point, particular attribute is categorical attribute is chosen. Based on the categorical attributes, the nearby attributes which are behave like the same attribute are clustered, grouped into some categories. The main concept of the K-means algorithm. But why the name means available? If we choose 2 points, we can find the distance between two points and find the average distance. Then find the nearest information about the categorical variable which is chosen by yourself. This is the point. Average distance is the main concept of the K-means algorithm. Data points inside a cluster are homogeneous, but outside this group is heterogeneous. The data points, which is the another one is random forest, which is a trademark term for an ensemble of decision trees, ensemble methods. A random forest, we have collection, a decision tree, collection of decision trees are available. That is a collection of trees are called as random forest. So random forest, if you want to analyze a set of decision trees, first you have to choose a tree, single tree, analyze the single tree. That how to choose the tree randomly, you can choose the tree. This is the simple method of random forest method. So to classify a new object based on attributes, each tree gives a classification and we say the tree votes for the class, whether the tree having the information gain for the chosen tree, that is for the chosen algorithmic approach, for the chosen decision tree concept or not. These things are exactly carried out. Therefore, the forest chooses the classification having the most votes. Which algorithm, which tree having gives many solutions compared with the all trees is the main concept of random forest algorithm. Then another one is dimensionality reduction algorithm. So in the last 4 to 5 years, there has been an exponential increase in dimensionality reduction algorithm, data capturing at every possible edges, because the data is grown every seconds the data is grown. So how is it possible to analyze all the data which are created by means of peoples, by means of machines, by means of other techniques? It is not possible. Therefore, we reduce the number of attributes available in a data. For that, in order to reduce the attributes, we can utilize some specialized kind of algorithms and methods. This is called as dimensionality reduction algorithm. By means of feature selection methods, we can reduce the dimensions of the attributes. So corporate companies, government agencies, religious organizations creating many sources of new data. So examples, e-commerce companies are capturing more details about customer, like their demographics, web crawling history, and they like the products or dislike the products, purchase history. Everything is available in many kind of database repositories. All the database repositories are having a number of large volume of data. Dimensionality oriented attributes are available. In order to reduce the dimensionality, we use the algorithm. Okay, then what is called as gradient boosting algorithm? It is a boosting algorithm used when we deal with the plenty of data to make prediction with high prediction power. So we can use plenty of data. For that, we require the plenty of data, a large volume of data are chosen for the analysis. How we can boost the large volume of data? GPM, gradient boosting algorithms, are helped for the learning purpose. Boosting is actually an ensemble of learning algorithms which combines the prediction of several base estimators in order to improve robustness over a single estimator. So whether the data are having missed variables, missing variables, noisy variables, outliers, everything should be accumulated easily, ensembled, accumulated easily, and carried out by means of this boosting algorithms. It combines multiple weak or average predictors to build a strong predictor. So there must be a strong predictor is available in order to predict the categorical values. So these boosting algorithms always work well in data science competitions like Haggle, AV, audiovisual, hackathon, crowd analysis. These things are the one of the real life examples of the algorithm. Some kind of boosting algorithms we will discuss. So another classic gradient boosting algorithm is XGBoost. That is known to be the device choice between winning and losing in some competitors, game competitors. Toggle is the game competitor. So we have to analyze the winners and losers behaviors. So losers and winners behaviors are analyzed based on their special approach. This is called as XGBoost. XGBoost on immensely high predictive power, which makes it the best choice of for accuracy in events, as it processes both linear model and the tree learning algorithms, which makes algorithm almost 10 into faster than the existing gradient booster techniques. Compared with other algorithms, 10 times multiples of execution process is carried out by means of this algorithm. Then LightGBM algorithm. LightGBM is a gradient boosting framework which uses the tree-based learning algorithm. It is designed to be distributed and efficient with the following advantages: faster training speed and higher efficiency, lower memory space it requires, better accuracy is carried out, parallel and GPU learning supported, and capable of learning large scale data. These are the special features of this LightGBM. It is a gradient boosting framework, a special kind of framework available. There must be a mathematical formula available in all these boosting algorithms. So in order to design the framework, we must use the statistical method oriented information analysis, statistical methods oriented formulas. So these things are used for based on decision tree algorithm, used for ranking, classification, and many other machine learning tasks, which was developed under the distributed machine learning toolkit. Distributed environment toolkit based projects are available in this algorithm. Then another one is CatBoost algorithm, which is recently developed open source machine learning algorithm from Yandex. A recent algorithm. I think 1 2 years or 3 years are only available. The CatBoost algorithm are invented. It can easily integrate with deep learning frameworks, with Google's TransFlow and Apple's Core ML. These are all softwares. Google's TransFlow and Apple's Core ML. These are all softwares. In order to utilize the deep learning approaches, deep learning frameworks, these CatBoost methods are available. So the best part about the CatBoost is that it does not require extensive data training like other method of machine learning algorithms. It can work on a variety of data formats, which can understand variety of data formats. We can undermine how robust it can be. The robust methods or robust informations are extracted perfectly by means of this CatBoost algorithm. Okay, make sure you handle missing data well before you proceed with the implementation. That is missing data, because this algorithm is robust algorithm. If an algorithm is called as robust algorithm, which can have a ability to handle missing data, outlier data, noisy data, incomplete data, inconsistent data. So CatBoost can automatically deal with the categorical variables without showing any type of conversation error, which helps you to go focus on turning your model better than the sorting out trial errors. The errors handling is very easily carried out. The another method is ensemble method. The ensemble methods are the meta-algorithmic methods that combine several machine learning algorithms and techniques into one predictive model in order to decrease the variance, badging, bias, or improve the predictions. So boosting, stacking, bagging, these are all decreased by means of this ensemble algorithm, which have a collection of algorithms, collection of meta algorithms. The ensemble methods are mostly utilized in order to reduce the process timing. In order to reduce the process time, computational time, these ensemble methods are utilized. So in which there are many ensemble methods are available. So whatever that we discussed, all these algorithms under the category of ensemble algorithms. One of the very famous ensemble algorithm used in the machine learning approach is a priori algorithm, which is mostly used for the association rule mining. associative rule learning problems. A priori is considered an algorithm for frequent item set mining, which association rule learning or transactional databases are exactly carried out by means of this a priori algorithm. So frequent item sets are carried out by means of this a priori algorithm because it's a special feature available in a priori algorithm is association rules. Okay, we can easily implement the association rules in order to find out the frequent item sets. So it proceeds just by identifying the frequent individual items in the database, then expanding them to large and larger data items. So first, the individual data items are identified by means of this algorithm, and then the process should be expanded in order to find the larger data items and the data item sets. So this is the specialty of this a priori algorithm. So the observation is for all long as those item sets appear sufficiently often in the databases. Sufficiently we can utilize this algorithm. Very frequently we can use and find out the results. The determined results are perfectly carried out by means of this a priori algorithm. What language we can perfectly utilize for this a priori algorithm is Python language. Most of the peoples are using R language also. So a priori algorithms which suit for coding for the coding purpose, we use the a priori algorithm. How we can use the coding the a priori concepts by using the Python language. So using the Python language, we can simply write the a priori concepts. So this has got applications that fall in the domains such as the market basket analysis. Number one, market basket analysis is carried out by using this a priori algorithm. Okay. Now another one is principal component analysis. The principal component analysis, there are this is a very famous technique in which is used to help in reducing the dimensionality of the data set. A larger data sets are available. The data set, in order to process all the data set is not feasible. Therefore, we can split the entire data set into some principal components. In order for accessing, for processing the entire data set, first we have to process a particular component, then predict the other components, results, outcomes. So this is the main concept of the principal component analysis. The main concept utilized in principal component analysis is sampling theory. So in order to test the whole population data, we got to set a sample data, find the conclusion about the sample data, and then you find out whether this conclusion is suitable for the population data or not. This is the main concept of the principal component. If all the components are combined into single database, then the main database should be formulated. This is the major area of this approach. Okay. The another one is independent component analysis. Now, very famous algorithm, independent component analysis. It is a new algorithm. It is considered to be a statistical and computational technique, which have many statistical techniques and computational techniques, which helps to bring or in revealing hidden factors that underline in the set of random variables, measurements, and signals. So random variable based information extraction, the hidden factors are easily understand. Most of the naive Bayes hidden informations are extracted. Naive Bayes algorithm work on the basis of the independent component analysis. Measurements and signals are exactly carried out. So IC helps to define a generative model. A generative model is actually generated by using this model. This model stands for the observed multivariate data. So observed multivariate data are mostly utilized in order to predict the categorical values by using the independent component analysis. Okay. Now it is typically originated or recognized in the form of a large database of samples. For the large database of samples, we use this independent component analysis. Now we come to the end of this part of the seminar. Now I call one by one. You can ask some questions. If you have questions, you can ask. Now it is time for you. Alphabetically, I will call one by one. If you have any doubt, B. Anandapriya, your audio button is enabled. With the help of this small introduction about this machine learning algorithms, only some of the machine learning algorithms are defined and explained by me. Not all the algorithms. There are many kind of machine learning algorithms are applied. So machine learning algorithms are used in the learning literature of machine approach. So you can utilize, you can learn yourself the other different kinds of machine learning algorithms. So Padma Priya is not available. Now next person is Justin Sobia. We can talk now. Are you available? Your audio button is enabled.
I am available, sir.
Yes,
Sir, is cat boost?
Cat boost algorithm.
I have no doubt. I am very clear about what you have told.
Yeah.
And I am also happy to know many things from you. Regarding that cat boost, it is a free software.
See, everything is free software. So yes, definitely, whatever the data analysis oriented information, all are free. Cat boost is the algorithmic method. It's not a software. First you understand,
Okay.
Cat boost is the algorithmic approach oriented method. It is an algorithm,
Okay,
not
sir.
a software. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Okay,
right.
sir. Okay.
All right. Next person, Merlin Johnsy. Your button is enabled now. Merlin Johnsy. Merlin Johnsy available. Anbumani. Next. Take an audio. You can speak to me now. Anbumani is not available. Then Saranya R. Saranya, you can speak to me. Now you can.
Sir?
Yes, Anbumani?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes, what's
Very
your
wonderful
doubt?
question. In big data, fraud detection, which algorithm is best, sir?
Then a number of algorithms are available. But what
Okay,
data set is used by yourself? What kind of data? Based on the kind of data, the fraud detection methods are available. So suppose
Credit card, sir.
if you use a credit card, the boosting algorithms are usually easily approached. Fraud detection algorithms, many kind. Whether you want to use a classification algorithm or clustering algorithm or prediction oriented information extraction oriented algorithm. So based on the data set, based on the number of attributes, based on the availability of information alone, you have to choose yourself the algorithm.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Thank you. And another one, Saranya R. Saranya R is not available. And Selva Kumar. Now you can talk me. Selva Kumar. Selva Kumar available.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes. Good afternoon, Selva Kumar. What do you want?
Night, sir. It's nice, sir.
Yes.
Sir, how to apply the a priori in Python language, sir?
So how to apply means a priori algorithm. First you have to choose the data set. Whether the data set is having a frequent item set or not. Without frequent item set, it is not possible to apply the a priori algorithm. Shortly we will meet a voice examination on a priori algorithm using frequent item set. Market based analysis is very well used in a priori algorithm. Okay. So supermarket informations are easily extracted by using a priori algorithm. Okay. A priori algorithm, the base algorithm is mostly used for the frequent items. So you can use the frequent item set and convert the data set into bit vector, and then based on the bit vector concept, you can convert the prediction oriented information. Okay. This is the concept about the Python. Okay. Thank you. Another person, Soumya. Soumya ji. Now we can talk. Soumya is available. Soumya is not available. Then another one, Vidyapriya. Vidyapriya. Yes, we can talk now. Vidyapriya is not available. Another persons, if available any person, you can talk now. your button should be enabled by me. Okay, but most of you are not subscribe my YouTube channel. Please subscribe and then like
Hello.
based on my information. Who is online?
Yes, sir.
Hello. Yes.
Hello. I'm
Yes.
Vijay
Tell
Priya,
me.
sir.
Tell me,
Sir,
Vidya.
yesterday you taken the data mining automated tools for
Yes.
class searching, and is
Yes, sir.
all these are using this machine language algorithms, sir.
Definitely,
Is it
100%. All the data set should be used, must be used, should be used by yourself. The machine learning applications, algorithm oriented information. 100% you can utilize all the data sets, but
okay?
some different kind of you have to analyze what kind of data available, whether the
Okay.
kind of the data type is suitable for your algorithm, whether the
Okay.
data is suitable for your analysis, what you want to
Okay.
predict. One of my suggestion is to find first you have to fix the conclusion of your research work. First
Okay.
itself you have to fix your conclusion, and then in
Okay.
order to attain your conclusion, in order to reach your conclusion, choose the data set, choose the algorithm, choose the approach. This is my best suggestion for the research
Okay.
purpose. Initially we
Okay.
have to choose the conclusion. So I want to
Okay.
predict something. So in
Okay.
order to attain your conclusion, choose the data set. Whether for your the conclusion means a hypothesis. The conclusion mostly depends on the hypothesis. If the hypothesis is suitable for applying the data set or not. If the hypothesis is suitable for the data set, then you must use the method. Then
Okay.
they based on the data set and the method and the algorithmic approach, choose the language. This is the approach.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Almost all are explained by myself. One thing you should know, you have to learn every day. Otherwise, it's not possible to find out new things. The learning every day is the main part. Without the learning, it's not possible to understand the new concept, new techniques, and everything else. Okay. Thank you for kind and patiently listening my words. Thank you very much.